Well, it's also Mike Logozzo, of course, from reAlpha Tech.
Oh, boy.
Our stock symbol AIRE. I got a chance to talk to Mike this morning. Lots of stuff happening. I can tell you definitively that he's got major networks asking about him coming on the air to interview, including Bloomberg. And the reason I'm saying this is because the space that they're in with respect of AI real estate, let's call it, is so hot right now that he's about to get pretty popular here. Mike, great to have you again, man. Thanks for coming in. I know you're busy and you're going 1,000 miles an hour. Can you talk about reAlpha for the people who haven't seen you yet? Just real quickly, the elevator pitch. And by the way, I'm dressed up for you because it's San Diego Padres opening day today. And as soon as your interview's over, me and my shorts are going to... So everybody thought it was casual Thursday, or I slept in my car Wednesday, but it's actually, so my apologies for being so casual today, but this is a national holiday in San Diego. Talk about a little bit about the company for people who haven't seen you before.
Sure, and thanks again for having me on. reAlpha is a end-to-end home buying platform that's powered by AI and designed for people. Essentially what that means is people could come onto our platform and conduct the entire transaction on it, from searching a home to hiring the realtor, doing the mortgage, and closing the transaction through title. And we have an AI concierge that we use to facilitate the transaction. Although we do have humans throughout the process, we use AI to make lives easier for our humans on the back end, as well as trying to make it a little bit more frictionless for the customer on the front end.
Hey, when you say AI, just because I know we're going to get to it in a minute, I know we're going to email again. The AI portion of your business, can you give us a couple examples of that so people can understand what's different and how the outcome is going to be different for them as consumers?
We have AI throughout the entire process. So as you're searching, you could interact with it like you would a realtor, let's say, but you could do it at any time of the day. The answers are going to be consistent. They're going to be the best. Typically with humans, right, you typically have a lot of variation there, depending on the level of experience or expertise or responsiveness. So we streamline that. Also, like when you're doing your documents, it allows you to make sure that you're doing it right the first time. We also have it on the back end for like our loan officers to make sure when documents come in that they're sorted properly and make sure there's nothing missing, make sure there's no either missing documents or missing information. And it allows us to get back to the customer very quickly as we go through the process to speed it all up.
Mike Logozzo, CEO, reAlpha Tech Corporation, ticker symbol AIRE, the website reAlpha, reAlpha.com. Mike, using reAlpha, can I look for a home anywhere in the United States?
Not yet. From a search standpoint, we're in 12 states in DC. So, our goal this year is to expand that out. In mortgage right now, we're in 32 states.
Oh, wow.
With the closing of InstaMortgage, which we're currently in the process of doing, that'll expand us out into over 40 states in mortgage.
And Mike, just not to interrupt on the InstaMortgage. You guys have already signed a definitive agreement on that, correct?
We have. We signed it back in December, and we're looking to get that closed here any day now. And when we do, we'll have some exciting news there to share about that transaction.
Can I ask you, because it came up yesterday on a show we were doing, and that is the AI version of appraisals. Is that going to, I think that's going to ignite the real estate market again, in that just like in television and radio, you have Nielsen and Arbitron that talk about ratings, and it's never been accurate, truly, because it was based upon a statistical sample. I think in the city of San Diego, for example, where there's 3 million people, they had 110 monitors to try to statistically tell you what you were listening to on the radio, which is sort of ridiculous. And before that, they had a little journal that you used to hear on radio, 25 past the hour, KOGO, so you could remember what you were listening to at 25 past the hour on a certain Monday. Do you think the more accurate appraisal, the more speed line, the more time-sensitive start to finish is what you're offering, is that going to ignite the market? Because I think it really will, because that changes everything, doesn't it?
Well, I do think it would certainly bring a more accurate appraisal and streamline the process. The one thing I really want to make clear, though, is reAlpha, because we're a lender, we cannot own the appraisal.
I understand, but that's but I'm just saying, because of your side of it, though, doesn't that ignite the whole business then? Because suddenly, the too high and the too lows get out of the way, and now you're getting an accurate appraisal. It's almost like self-driving cars. The accidents start going away when there's no human touch. That's good and bad, but I think for you guys it pushes it. Let's move over to mortgage rates real quickly. Obviously, when you see the Fed dropping interest rates, they're not. The mortgage rates don't follow the short bond; they sort of follow the long bond. We're seeing little by little rates creeping down. I know we got a little jump recently. Are you seeing more activity, like they say? Even with the 25 basis points when we drop down, are there more people out there when you see those incremental drops like that? Or do you think we're going to need another percentage point or two to happen?
I think there's a psychological barrier at 6% that we're seeing right now. When we went below it, things really started to pick up, and then it kind of creep back up over it again. So I honestly think that we will have additional reductions. Obviously, we can't predict the future, but going into home buying season, if we get interest rates below 6, things certainly, we got a taste of it. Things are certainly starting to pick up, and getting InstaMortgage done in time as well will certainly add fuel to us.
Mike, I want to talk about. We talked about before, and that's your revenue being up $4.5 million, 376% year over year. That's a fantastic hit there. Talk about that, and was that a surprise to you overall when you saw those numbers? I know you follow them very closely as a CEO, but that's a pretty big jump.
I mean, it's a big jump, but I'm always striving for something bigger. We could have done better. We'll continue to improve this year. We're not destined to be a micro-cap company, right? We're destined to be, something substantial, and we're going to continue to push our folks. And I think, actually, I don't even need to push that much. I mean, we have a team of people that are believing this thing, and we're going to continue to push ourselves to get reAlpha to where we think it can be a household name.
Mike Logozzo, CEO, reAlpha Tech Corporation, ticker symbol is AIRE. Mike, that expansion into other states and stuff, is that going to, as you look down the road, something that you think is going to happen rather quickly, or is it's just going to?
And are there better states than others? I mean,
yeah.
Just because of the mass area doesn't necessarily mean a great mortgage market, right? It's got to be strategic, correct?
That's exactly right, Solly. The top 10% of the states, I think, represent 64% of the residential volume. Jeez. So, just focusing in the top 10%, there's a huge opportunity for us. Yes, we'll get in as many states as possible, but if it brings diminishing returns, we may just hold off and focus on some of the larger transaction states, at least until we get our flywheel going.
I think for me, when you start looking at this thing, the next thing I see is you've got news coming out in about 6 different periodicals over the last 3 weeks, talking about the big dollar real estate refinance market that is to come. When you talk about jumbo stuff and you talk about cities like New York City, Los Angeles, California, Dallas, Texas, those types of things, what is the appetite for lending, and what is the appetite for packaging and selling those loans for the jumbo type, $1 million and up sort of properties that you see in some of those states I just mentioned, and cities I just mentioned?
I mean, there's certainly an appetite out there for it. However, our sweet spot seems to be primarily in the 500 to $1 million range is what we're currently seeing. As we start to expand into other states, we're going to get into more middle America, where that number may even go down a little bit. However, we'll certainly compensate for it from a volume standpoint as well. But, the nice thing about being a lender or going to be a lender from an InstaMortgage standpoint is it gives us a lot of options that we have for customers. And then also being a broker, so for some reason we can't help them as a lender, we could broker the deal out and still get a fee for shopping it out as well.
And by the way, you guys can pivot as you see the demand, right? As you see more demand come up, you guys are able to be pretty nimble about that because of the 2 roles you guys play.
That's correct.
Mike Logozzo.
I've got on good authority. Mike's going to be in San Diego here pretty soon. I'm not going to say the day, but he's going to come in studio. We're going to pin him down and not let him leave. Thanks, buddy.
Chief Executive Officer, reAlpha Tech Corporation, ticker symbol AIRE. All right, keep it right here. The Big B Show.